Thank you. Hello. What is this? Mm. Um, that doesn't really do much for me, huh? Listen, you know about the saddest thing? You know, it's been a topic of discussion about if I was seeing other people or anything like that. That's been a thing. The most frustrating thing is when I do be like exclusive or like only see somebody and only them. It's never believe, like never. That's more of an issue with like misogyny and like hatred of women than it is about the woman. If you think that the person that you're seeing, because it's like a um ooh, I don't have my Instagram isn't up. There's a guy. Okay, oh, my Instagram, even though it's not up, it suddenly got pumped with like all the men talking to the other men now. So not just public offender on my YouTube. And one of them was talking about how men obsess with being cheated on. Like they obsess. Like they're all so afraid of showing love and being cheated on. They're obsessed with it, right? And it's because of the hatred of women. Uh, it goes back to when I said that the word feminine, the Latin root word of that is it means enemy. There is a programming behind women's ability to be good people or, trustworthy and stuff like that. So like it kind of sucks to know that the okay, in all of my life, okay, there are very few people. I don't know if you can hear Aaron. He's trying to get the cats to come upstairs. But in my life, there are very few people who got exclusive energy out of me. And a lot of the times, um, New York, he was one of the people. I was with him for an extended amount of time where it was just me and him. Um, not all men. The only reason that I cheated on him is because he would not break up with me. um, like I tried to break up with him, and then once I finally broke up with him, he was still trying to get back together with me, and that's when I got with Jeremiah's dad. So, like very few people have been able to keep my attention long enough. Because there's always going to be something, there's always going to be something that pisses me off that just I don't want to see this person anymore and I'm on to the next. And it doesn't really mean that I'm not exclusive or anything, or that I don't give people an opportunity to like impress me or anything like that. It's just that it moves pretty quickly. like um I'll try. I'm sitting and I'm thinking over my history here, and essentially I've been single this whole time. I've been single since I started dating. My first date, I was 16 years old. From that point, I have been single. I've never been chosen. Okay. And if I was, it was so brief. Um, Not all men. We dated for 9 months. I was his girlfriend. And in fact, I wasn't even his girlfriend that long. I think I was only his girlfriend for like 3 months. Um, Jeremiah's dad, I was only his girlfriend for 2 months. And then we had that whole 5 year thing go. It was 5 years of off and on situationship. He's seeing somebody. I mean, he had actual girlfriends. And I didn't have one, you know? Or well, of course I didn't have a girlfriend. I'm straight. But he would have girlfriends and stuff like that, and I did not have a boyfriend that whole 5 years. I would, sleep with other people, he would sleep with other people. I've talked about this before, but I think it's, like, really important to express that I am single. I've been single my whole life. I have not been in a real, long-term, committed relationship ever in my life. I'm 37 years old, okay? And I have never been in an exclusive and committed and real relationship. When I was with Aaron's dad asked me to be his girlfriend. I pushed back for like not several months. I pushed back for like 2 months. I finally decided to be his girlfriend. I got pregnant within the next month, and then we weren't together anymore. That's not real. That's not real. Um, and so like people have tried to make this like narrative that I'm a cheater, but I've never been in a relationship. I am single, so I can move however the fuck I want to move. If you are not interested in putting me in a relationship and I slept with somebody, that's not cheating. And exclusivity has to be earned to some extent. And then even then, no. Cause there's like, there was somebody I was seeing, I saw them for a whole year, and I was only seeing them for a whole year. That was like 2012. It was actually during Natty's pregnancy. When I was pregnant with Natty, and like a little bit after that, I was only with that person that whole time. you know? Um and then like I went and I decided to be celibate for a little bit, or not necessarily celibate but abstain. I've had periods of my life where I've abstained and I haven't seen anybody. And so I'm saying all of this to say, um this it is really unfortunate that the one time in my life that I chose to just like go with it, and I was actually exclusive with someone for a long time, like longer than I've ever been exclusive with anybody, because I haven't been in a relationship, and I'm still not in a relationship, and I wasn't in a relationship with this person, and like it wasn't noticed or appreciated at all. So what's the point? The, I'm 37. I'm gonna be 38 this year. And the idea of being in a relationship or being exclusive, I'm just getting further and further away from that. I've never really been that anyway. It's not like I'm non-committal. Nobody's committing. Nobody wants to commit. They all have fears, they all have issues, and it's not like we're on like this scarcity thing where I don't think any of those people exist. But right now, where I am in my current life, where I am right now today, in this city, oh, it's definitely not happening. Oh, this city is definitely not happening, right? I would have to like leave Ohio if I was going to possibly date somebody, and it's like a possibility because even like the like I got internet crushes, right? I see it, and I still wouldn't. I Based off of what I see, I still wouldn't even be able to date them if they were like a real option. You know what I'm saying? It's not I'm not I'm single. And even in my singleness, I have chosen to be exclusive with people, and it was not appreciated. It does not matter. Men don't know what they want. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. And when I am behaving and I'm not, I don't even mean to use that word, behaving. I don't even mean to use that word because I'm not misbehaving. I'm an adult and I can make choices about where my body goes and who it touches and all that stuff. And it doesn't make me bad because haven't done anything. I haven't done anything bad. Trying to frame the way I participate sexually with anybody has been tried, like they've tried to frame it as bad. There have been instances where it wasn't right. I could say that. We'll say that, right? Because, when we talk about the people that I slept with and didn't tell them that I had an STD, that was bad. That was misbehaving. But the act of sex itself was not. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like doing anything super crazy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sleeping with anybody for money. I wasn't doing anything that was necessarily bad behavior. And it's only viewed that way from people who, uh, well, my family, like certain people in my family who, in a religious standpoint, think that how I was behaving was bad. But from my standpoint, I don't believe so. One, because some of those came from like coercion. Um, there's certain people, there's a very large, it's not even a handful, I would say about two handfuls of people that it was due to triggers and not really understanding everything that was going on. Now that I do, I don't even count those people anymore. I mean, I do and I don't. Like, if somebody asked me, I would tell them about it, right? But in my mind, they're not, I don't count them. I don't think about them and I don't consider it, I don't consider it sex. I consider it rape. I consider it rape by coercion. You know what I'm saying? That's what I consider it now. So being able to take those people off of there, um, you know, helps me feel better, But ultimately, I think the worst thing that has happened to me recently is realizing that the person that I chose to deal with exclusively, for the longest that I've ever been with anybody exclusively, um, didn't think that I was being exclusive. That shit sucks. Because one, I didn't owe you that. I'm single. Very single. I have been very single for a long ass fucking time. So I didn't owe you that. And I did it anyway. And somehow you weaseled your fucking way in here. Because, again, I don't. Most people cannot, like, keep my attention. Uh, most people can't keep my attention because they're always going to be caught on something I don't like, or even when I started dealing with them I didn't like it, and then by the time, like dude that had the chick, right? I didn't like the situation. I didn't like the situation when I got into it. That's just where I was mentally at the time. But I knew he had a chick, and I knew I wasn't going to end up staying there or continue dealing with that person. When I finally got bored with it, I told him I was bored with it. Like, hey, this really isn't my speed, bro. And moved on. you know? Um, the minute they say something stupid, they themselves disqualify themselves. They do something like the ghosting is a big thing. Many men ghost. That's their thing. So then they try to come back in. Most people do not get to ghost me, okay, and come back. I think that's what I'm. Most people don't get to ghost me and come back. And in fact, no people get to ghost me and come back. But gee, you know what I'm saying? My baby daddies didn't ghost me and shit. Well, yeah, they did, and then the relation, not they. Um, Kyle never ghosted me. Keith never ghosted me. Um, but Aaron's dad ghosted me, and that was it. That was all. We're not together anymore. With Keith and Kyle, it was they're just indecisive, um, trying to heal. Kyle's was more about just wanting to play the field and get experience and shit like that. And again, we were young, so I wasn't really like totally against it, but time had continued to go on, and it just seemed like he was never done. It's like, bro, you trying to fuck the whole world? I mean, what's up? And at some point, and actually the point where it came to where I had to stop seeing him is because he kicked me out of the house to sleep with my coworker. Okay, so we are never ever ever getting back together type shit. Um, and he tried. We did actually try to get back together. Yeah, we did actually try to get back together, but that was in my younger days when I was a little more dumb. You know what I'm saying? I was under the age of 25. I was under the age of 23. I was like 21 years old. So please don't judge me for that. Please don't judge me for that. Among other things that were happening there, like finding out that I had the STD and stuff, and like, you know, there was a lot going on in that situation, but um and the way he framed it was like he was taking me when he was actually the one that gave it to me type shit. That was really a mind fuck. Okay, so then we get, all I'm saying is never, never have I ever uh dealt with someone and been like extremely exclusive, not dating around, not like, doing stuff before for an extended amount of time, longer than like, not, I would say nobody's really been able to get me for longer than 9 months. Like I think I said before, like the longest I ever waited for somebody was 5 years with Jeremiah's dad. But even during that time, it wasn't like I was fully exclusive. I would go and like maybe be exclusive with him for like 6 months. I got tired of his bullshit. I'm gonna go sleep with somebody over here. Um, you know, Not necessarily get back, but just there's more to life, than sitting and waiting on somebody. I have really, literally never just sat and waited on somebody for 2, 3 years to make a decision. Um, and I've never like it was this is going longer than it needs to. The point is, and I think I've already stated the point several times, I've never been with someone for longer than a few months before I start dating or seeing other people. And with this person, I was with them for the last 3 years and had not seen anybody. Um, on occasion, and the thing is that makes me mad too is like I told you about the people that I did speak to. um, I brought him up before. His name was Corey. I hung out with Corey a couple times, but the initial reason that I hung out with Corey is because Corey asked me to do his hair. And so I did his hair. And then from that, I found out about his job, which was actually really cool. And his job had a perk that was helpful. He was very aware that I was not interested in dating him or anything like that. And when he got too aggressive about it, I had to stop talking to him because the perk isn't, it was not important to me. You know what I'm saying? And he led with that. Um, and I even told him, like, I was trying to help him because he couldn't figure out why women won't talk to him. And I was trying to help him explain to him some of the things that he was saying to me was inappropriate. Like, I don't even know you. You shouldn't be talking to me like that. Or like, you know, he tried to I think he bought me something. I bought him something too, actually. I bought him something too. But this was strictly platonic on my end. It was not on his. Like he came in, uh I did not like the way he came in, and I was trying to explain to him. In fact, our last conversation over the phone led to like a disagreement, and I was trying to explain to him the concept of emotional rape, uh, and how like even what he did with he did the old switcheroo of asking me to do his hair, I do his hair, and then like, yeah, so are you like kind of going into dating, or he was mad, he actually had gotten upset when I said that I had somebody, because it's like, you could have led with that. you know, you could have led with that. If you were interested, you could have led with that, and I would have let you know instead of letting you come over here and now you're mad. Like, why do you guys think that women? I don't know. We're not about to get into that right now. That's neither here or there. There was another person on the bus that had like a lot of health issues and shit like that, and said that he needed help because he couldn't get he had a procedure that he needed to get, but he couldn't get it unless he had like another person with him, and he didn't know anybody. uh, Bus driver knew him. Bus drivers know everybody. um and I made the suggestion, like, I'll go with you. He seemed very harmless. Dude seemed very harmless. No, he was not. And actually, um, what I thought to be patience, what I realized now was cruelty, inspired me to try to keep being this man's friend, because like before I even got off the bus, he had called me like 13 times and left like four he left three voicemails, okay? And he had texted me like six times, and that's all before I even got off the bus. And I recognized the anxious attachment style, and he also kind of put me in mind of my one of my cousins. My cousin was kind of like that with his home health aides, right? And so I felt inspired to try to be his friend, but he got he had the same issue where like he was sitting there asking for support and asking for help for something, and I offered the help, and he immediately went into like dating and shit. I was like, well, I can't date you. I have somebody. I was just trying to be helpful. And he got like very verbally violent over a course of time. And like the last time I talked to him, he was saying shit like, "Oh, I talked to my therapist, and I'm having like homicidal thingies. Oh, we can't do that. No, no. You should have kept that in between you and your therapist, motherfucker." Uh, and I felt it to be a threat. I felt that he was saying that to make me feel threatened or feel like I should just stop ignoring his calls. I wasn't ignoring his calls. Like I would literally tell him exactly what I was doing, and he would not. Like I tried to treat him the way I was hoping that G would treat me, but it didn't work for him. But it didn't work for him because he was too far gone. And actually I have seen him since, and uh he had to be hospitalized for a while. He was hospitalized and put on medication. He's much more chill on the bus, at least. But he can't seem to understand why I don't speak to him. And I don't speak to him because he kept telling me that if I first he was upset that I didn't first he was upset that I didn't answer his calls, right? And I even like tried to schedule call times and schedule things so that way he doesn't feel like he's being rejected. I tried a lot of different methods to try to help him, Um, but he would like flip out, freak out. All right. So first he was mad about that, and he would say shit like he was gonna call the police. I'm being rude. He's gonna call the police. Okay. You can't call the police for that. He's actually gotten in trouble. He actually has a charge. You can look him up. He has a charge for calling the police on people for things like this, right? So I didn't know all that when I first started talking to him. And of course, he never came to my home or anything like that. I just thought I would try to be a friend and like meet up with him at the hospital so he could do this fucking procedure um, that he couldn't do. That's literally all I was trying to do. I was trying to just be helpful. So then he got mad and he said if I ever talked to him, because we would run into each other in the city, run into each other at the library, do certain, run into each other on the bus. So he told me if I ever talked to him again, he was going to call the police on me, right? So I'm aware of what goes on because he tells his business when he's on the bus and everything. So I'm aware that he has been, hospitalized. He's been forced to take medication and things like that. But I'll talk to him because he's gonna have to eat his words. He said that he's gonna call the police on me if I talk to him. So we're not gonna talk to him. I'm being very petty. Okay. But these are the two instances of me speaking to people in Newark, like on the two men in Newark that got my phone number. Then there's like a 22-year-old that has my Instagram, and I was chit chatting with him for a while. But now I don't have my Instagram, and I still be all we do is just send reels to each other. We did have like a little flirtatious moment, but he's 22, so that doesn't really work. But um to ask of me to not speak to anyone or to deal with anyone when there is no title just would never be a thing. But I did honor the sexual connection, and I was very much exclusive. Wasn't nobody touching that. Nope. And nobody will be. Nobody will be. I'm good, actually. I'm okay. Um, from 2020 to 2022, it was like I think it was like November 2020 to August 2022. I hadn't had sex, and you know, it's hasn't I haven't had sex since my birthday, so I'm fine and I can do that. I it doesn't seem like I can do it, okay? Cuz I know that I have a very long history of being sexually active, but um it's not really an issue for me. It never was. So it's just unfortunate. The point of this whole thing is just that it's unfortunate that like the one time that I really like put in to be like sexually exclusive with somebody, it was not appreciated at all. 2 3 years of exclusivity just for for them to like be fucking not not believing me, not appreciating it, not really giving a fuck. It's funny. All right. That's all. Yeah. Bye.